You're listening to the Indie Echo Podcast, a showcase of independent music and the artists that make it. I'm Jordan, producer at High Five Music. Making his way from Colombia to Sweden, today's guest is a producer and songwriter whose style ranges from folk to pop rock. This is Hey Christian Smile. His new single, Good Boys Never Win, is just about to release. And here's a special preview.
And I don't know if it's me you're leaving out, and you don't show that it's worth to make a sound. And I don't know if it's me you're leaving out, and you don't show that it's worth to make a sound. The good boys never ever win, don't you know? The good boys never ever win, don't you know?
All right, Christian. Thanks for being here. This is really cool.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Jordan.
Yeah, this is nice. First coming live from Sweden,
Yeah.
but born in Colombia. So how did you get from Colombia to Sweden?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I moved here when I was 12. It was my parents' idea, and everything was obviously about getting more opportunities for their kids, education, and a better place to live in for their kids. I was just a little boy playing football on the streets and being happy with my life, so I didn't understand anything. But my parents, as the grown-ups and as the great parents they are, they saw the opportunity, and yeah, we ended up here at a country that we actually didn't know and we didn't have any relation to. So it was a big step. It was a hard step. A language that we didn't know, neither of us. So yeah, it was tough in the beginning. It was tough. I still remember how hard it was to understand the kids at school and so on. But I know that all the listeners that are listening to us now and that come to a new country with no relation to that country, they know what I'm talking about. So I remember when I was when in Colombia, you actually there's a lot of people listen to, I don't know how you call it, like folk music, like music that's from the country that people dance to, and they arrange these parties, and there's accordions and these instruments. And I liked that music. I was okay with that music, but that wasn't my kind of that wasn't the music that I really like. But one day I actually discovered a record that my father had. It was the Beatles, the record Revolver, and that changed everything for me. That was the start for me. It's like, okay, so you can listen to this kind of music as well. It doesn't be Spanish, and you don't have to dance to it, but you can instead listen to this melodies. It was all about the melodies, and I mean, 20 years later after that, I still think everything is about the melody.
I just want you to pull yourself together and make it last forever. The sorrow inside of you, don't let the ghost into the shelter. If you're not doing better, I do what I need to do. I would try it all.
I'm the same way. Like growing up listening to pop music and electronic music and game soundtracks and film scores, like all of it was melody based. And so I have 1,000 melodies from that era still in my head. And hopefully it shows itself in my work as well. So were you writing music at that time as well, or did that come later?
No, that came much later. So yeah, no, I didn't. It was more about this listening, and obviously we got like music lessons at school. But I never thought that. I thought that was for someone else. I never thought that was. So I actually, I was a little bit. Now as you told me earlier before we started recording that you played the drums with whatever you had. I did that as well. I played a little bit of drums, and I think that I did sounds and tried to like sing melodies that didn't exist before. So that was some kind of writing, but it wasn't serious. But I know that kids do that. So yeah. But I didn't write my first song until I was like 14, 15.
Your sound palette is very diverse, and I like that, because you'll have a slower, love song or something, and then you'll have the faster ones as well. And
Can I say that gives me a lot of anxiety? And it's like I don't know. I have this part of me that says like everything has to be in one way. You have to have this style, and you have to, you don't want the audience to be like, whoa, what is this now? What is this guy doing? So
well, I
one
want
part
to
of
be
me
well.
hates.
I want to be well.
Okay, but that's pretty cool, and I like that. And but one part of me says that okay, everything has to be in one style, but the other part of me goes crazy, and I try to think that it's okay and that it's, I don't know, legal to do so. And because I think of artists as Beck, for example, and Björk. There are artists that actually do different styles of music. So yeah, but it still gives me a little bit of anxiety. I gotta say that.
So when you finally started writing, producing, and releasing your music, who were like your main influences sound-wise?
This is I mean, John Lennon is a big influence. When John Lennon and Elliott Smith, if you know who the singer-songwriter, it was. I really liked the. I used to hear that I didn't sing, that I didn't sound well when I was younger, that I didn't have a great voice. So I don't know. At some point, I started to sing in this kind of whispering way. And I realized that John Lennon did that a lot and doubled his voice so it was like on 2 tracks. Elliott Smith did the same. It sounded amazing. And I started to do that as well at some point. So those 2 guys are very big influences in that matter.
Learn from the legends.
Yeah. And even I don't know. I get inspired. I get inspired since I see myself as a very limited artist. Like I don't know a lot of instruments. I don't know. I'm not a great singer. So I get inspired by people that are a little bit like me. I like Rivers Cuomo from Weezer. Everything that is Weezer is like, if this guy can sing like that and be that great, then I have a chance as well.
I'm thinking about you all the time, waiting for the day to find the words to say to you. 'Cause I know that you'll be here one time, and then I'll try to say it right. The words to say to you. Yeah, the words to say to you.
So where did Hey Christian Smile come from?
The name.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit like I tried to. I don't know if you know it's an indie project by a guy, and I don't remember his name actually, but he has a project called Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly.
That sounds familiar. Yeah,
that sounds familiar. Yeah, I like that. I like that name. I think it's so cool. Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly. It's like dots between the phrases. So it's like. I knew from the beginning that I wanted to do something like that, and I like the concept of being a solo artist and have a name. Like what's his name? The guy from Fireflies, Old City.
Owl City.
Old City. Yeah, Old City. Yeah, it was like I listened to the song for a long time. And I was like, I love this band. This band is so cool. And I was like, then I realized that okay, this is not a band. This is a guy that just named himself as a band. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I wanted to do something like that, and I opened my notebook one day and just wrote a lot of names and a lot of ideas, brainstorming, and yeah, I was like, I wanted to be like a little bit emo, like she rap, kid or get up in. I don't know. So it was like, yeah, hey Christian, smile.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. It's very unique, and it pops out when you see it in a list somewhere. Yeah. So your first, I guess, official single release was When I Was Younger.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, this is so new for me. I'm 28 years old today, and my first single came out earlier this year in March, and it was after a time that I had given up on music actually, and as an artist at least, and I never thought about releasing music. But then the pandemic came. I started to write songs on the guitar. I started to learn how to play the guitar, and then I started to write songs on the guitar. And then I wrote this song. I was fighting with a lot of anxiety, and I always hate the fact of getting older, and getting older and getting older and getting towards the end. So somehow it's a sad thought, but it comes sometimes. And and that made me create this song. And when I recorded it on Logic, and it was like this double, as I described earlier, the double track voice. And it was actually only me and my guitar. It was so imperfect that you can actually hear how some tones are a little bit off, some timing is a little bit off. But at some point I just pressed the button. I just said, okay, this is gonna be the start of something. And I just pressed the button, release, and the song is on Spotify. And I got my friends listen to it. I got my family listen to it, and I actually started my TikTok account. And some people like the song. And I don't know. I got tear in my eyes when I saw that. Okay, there are 2 people having this at their playlist. It's amazing. So yeah, it was the start.
I'm only trying to get better than what I have been. I'm only trying to be if someone offers something better, I promise that I'll let you know.
Yeah, there's kind of 2 ways you can do your very first single. It's either it has to be perfect, or it's now or never. Just it has to go out, you know.
Oh yeah, and I gotta say, and if it's people like listening right now that are in that same position, don't wait it to be perfect, because it's never gonna be perfect. I mean, just don't have a bunch of songs in your computer and your hard drive just waiting to be released. Just release them. They are. I bet that they're as good as they are. Or I mean, just release them, because don't wait for perfection, because perfection's never gonna come. So yeah.
And then so your new single, Good Boys Never Win. Where did that one come from?
That's I gotta start by saying that it's when I was younger, it's this acoustic song with myself and my guitar, and this is a completely different song. It's more up tempo, it's electric guitars, and it's more poppy. Yeah, this is different. And I actually wrote it a couple of years ago when I came home from a party when I was with a friend, a female friend, and she was getting so much attention at that party, and she didn't see me. We had been friends for a while, and I mean, I knew everything about her. She knew everything about me. But at that party, at that moment, I was invisible. She didn't see me, but she got a lot of attention. And I came home. I was a little bit down about it. And yeah, that made me start writing that song with the concept that good boys never win. That people that are a little bit too nice, we never get the girl. other guys do. So yeah, that's what made me start writing the song.
Despite that background, it's a very, like you said, up-tempo and very pleasant song, sound-wise. And what, musically, what was the... Because it reminds me of some band, but I can't put my finger on who it is. Was it directly inspired by anybody?
Not directly by anybody, but I remember that I wanted to. I was listening at that. I mean, at some point I was listening a lot to My Bloody Valentine and Weezer, as I said, is a big inspiration. The shoegazer sound of the guitars, like being this wall in the background. I love that, and like the melodies of the voice that you barely can hear. I love that effect. I love that atmosphere. So I wanted to create something like that. So yeah, definitely a shoegazer effect.
And is that a style you would want to continue with, or was this like a one-off experiment?
I'm definitely gonna continue doing that, and yeah, it's. I think it fits like this type of concept when it comes to this type of songs that are a little bit darker and really want to create this atmosphere, this vibe of okay, now it's really dark. Let's play a chord on the guitar that plays forever.
Have you played live at all?
Actually, when I was a little bit younger, we had a band. I remember that we had like 2 gigs or something. That was my live experience in a band. But now when I kind of relaunch my career, I actually play on Twitch a couple of times last summer. It was so cool. I really like watching all the artists on Twitch. They are so talented, so much talent there. People is really good. So that got me inspired into starting on Twitch, and I did some live streams. It was pretty cool.
Cool. One of your more recent songs, you had a collaboration with a female singer. Which one was that?
Something Left from the First Day.
Yeah. That one sounds so nice. How did you collaborate? Like, how did you get in touch with her?
Oh yeah, it was. I should be honest. I can tell the whole story. I met her on Tinder. I met this girl on Tinder, and we went on a date. And apparently, she liked to sing, and that was what connected us. And she came into my place, and I showed her this song. I really liked that song. I was very proud of it, and she liked it as well. And we were like, she would record this, and this was like 5 years ago. And we were like, yeah, let's record this. And we did one take, everything on one take. And we kept. I had this song like this kind of demo laying in my computer, as I said, and now that I am in the mood of releasing stuff, I was like, okay, but this is a good song. It sounds really good. So I produced it and mixed it, and that's actually another single that's gonna be out on October 1st October. Something Left from the First Day, with Cirkeline is her name. So yeah, great singer, great pop song, and another style compared to the other 2 songs that we talked about earlier.
And as long as you want me, there would be no simple way. And as long as you find me, I'd be glad that you still wait.
Cool. That's cool that you're staying together and working on music like that.
Yeah.
Was there a hardest part of putting together your recent singles?
I think that the hardest part for me is that I haven't seen myself as a producer. I know that I'm a great songwriter. I know that I'm a good songwriter, but I know that I am a very limited producer. I know that I am a very limited singer. So to actually get that final touch was to make it feel like it's actually done, to make it feel like it's a finished record. That was the hardest part, and to believe that it is done, to actually listen to it and believe that okay, this is actually something that could be on Spotify. I think that was the hardest part, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing. But as I said, at some point it's never gonna be perfect, and I cannot sit and wait I don't have the money to pay a producer to produce all my songs. I'm never gonna have that money. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna learn. The first songs are not gonna be perfect, but hopefully in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years, my songs are gonna sound great.
And you're gonna have so many at that point too.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Who would be like a dream collaborator for you?
Obviously, if I wouldn't say that, I would like to see it as I would at least like to see it as in the same room as Max Martin. I would like just sit there and just
to watch. Yeah,
watch. so if that's
me too.
if that counts as a collaboration, then I really like to be there. And I don't know. I really like to. But I don't know which other artists that I would like to collaborate with. But yeah, I would. Maybe I'm in the. Maybe I'm just dreaming and just cannot think about artists in my same level. I just think about artists like big artists. But I really like the songwriting style of Ed Sheeran. I think and I like his earlier stuff more than today's. But he's a great songwriter. He's a really great songwriter. And if I could ever have the chance to write a song along with him, I think that I would like. It's the same thing as I said with Max Martin. It's like maybe you see something that opens your eyes in another way, and you start to see, okay, oh gosh, can you do it like that? Oh, that's great. So yeah.
Is there a central theme or message in the music of Hey Christian Smile that you're trying to get across?
I think that maybe it's not like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but it's very clear that I would never write a song that I mean, all the songs are based on a real happening or a real feeling. So it's stuff that has happened to me or that I felt at some point, maybe now or maybe 10 years ago or something. But it's actually real stuff, and I think it's what I wanna do with my music. Actually, if I'm very honest with what I sing about, I believe that someone out there might find it relatable, as in the same way that I found a lot of songs relatable when I was younger, when I listened to not only the Beatles but also this pop punk era that came later with Blink and Good Charlotte and Simple Plan and all these heroes that I actually listened to. And then I was like, okay, but gosh, can you actually feel about being sad? Can you actually sing about being bullied at school and that kind of stuff? Yeah. And to make people actually, I'm gonna write stuff that I've experienced, and I hope that people out there can find it relatable.
You were just bad for me, bad for me. Too bad for me, too bad for me, too bad for me, too bad for me. Maybe too blind to see.
Would you ever want to be like a songwriter for other artists?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I was. I think that my if I just go through a little bit of my music journey, my music dreams, I had a band, and when I had the band, I dreamed. My dream was, okay, we're gonna be like as big as the Beatles. So yeah, and then that dream kind of got crushed because everybody moved and the band it was over. So then I started to write songs, and I was like, okay, but now I'm gonna be the greatest songwriter. I'm gonna be a songwriter for the other people. But then I was like, nothing really happened, and I don't know, I didn't got the opportunity to get a real singer singing my songs. So it was like, okay, let's give up that. And then I'm starting to release my own songs and with my own sound. and now maybe I'm dreaming of, okay, I can be an artist. But obviously the dream of being a songwriter to other artists is actually still possible, and I still dream about it, and I still know that's my strength. That's where I'm good at, what I'm good at, to write great songs with catchy melodies. So I there's a part of me that actually hopes that someone's gonna listen to these songs and say, hey, you know what? I got an artist for this that gonna make, that has like 1 million followers and 1 million listeners, and we actually liked your song. So it's obviously a dream, and I think that maybe launching myself as an artist is actually maybe a first step to make people hear your music, because that's what this is about, to make people hear your music. If you're not out there, nobody's gonna listen to the music that you have in your heart, right?
And with you being on TikTok, you just need that one thing to blow up.
Yeah. I watched a TikTok that actually hit me. It was like, you never know who's watching. Mm-hmm. So it was like, okay, you never know who's watching, and that's true.
I was just listening to a podcast today, and they're saying how, like, even all the big label A&Rs, and there's like a whole section of them just on TikTok looking for new people. So
gosh, that makes you like, okay, let's send this interview. I'm gonna do a bunch of videos. Yeah. Because you never know. Yeah, but I mean, it's hard because obviously, and I think that you and me and the people listening, we have the dreams about. I mean, we still have the dream of being famous, being big. I mean, we're gonna go to. I want to go to my mom and say, Mom, my song is playing on the radio. Have you listened? I mean, that would be amazing. So it's obviously you don't want to get blind and just, I want to be famous. But it's obviously there, and that goal is still there.
What has the impact of Sweden been on your musicality? Because Sweden is known for their like the big pop producers are all from Sweden.
Oh, yeah, don't get me started. Gosh, I get so. This is gonna be a long story. No, but as you said, I don't know if everybody knows that, but Sweden is really the home of pop music. Netflix actually released a pop documentary on this subject, so I really can recommend to watch that. But it was from the 90s when we started to produce and write the songs for Britney Spears and Westlife and Backstreet Boys, and it was these guys at Sharon. That was the place. How the place was called. Where they that was the place, that was how the studio was called, Sharon. Everything was created there, and there was a guy called Max Martin working there, and people in the music industry might be familiar with that name, and that this guy is amazing, writing and producing hit after hit, year after year. I mean, it's 2021. I think he wrote and produced the latest Coldplay single, so it's great. I mean, when I was 15, I knew that, okay, I want to be that, like this guy. This guy is my biggest inspiration, and so it's definitely it comes from that, and I think that when I was a teenager, it was hard to actually accept like Backstreet Boys and Westlife and Britney as music, because people could look at you and say like, but what's that about? That's not music. But for me, I actually listened to the melodies, and it was so good. Mm-hmm. I still can listen to Westlife today and think that it's very, very great melodies and catchy songs.
And it's not even like he had his hits in the 90s and then went away. No, he's still topping the charts.
That's amazing. That's crazy. I remember I read. I'm a nerd. I read a lot. I've read all the story and I listened to a lot of interviews with him. And he says that he's the kind of guy that doesn't celebrate when he writes a hit single, but he still like, he sees the prize that he gets is that he gets to write another song. So it's like, okay, that's good because I can get the chance to write another song. So that's like that's a different mentality, you know. I mean, if I would write a hit single, I would be like, "Mom, I did it," and then I would like kind of chill.
Yeah. And now he has all these apprentices that he has out there too. People have studied and worked under him. Doing just as good as work as he has. So you have your new single now. What is next on the horizon? What do you have what's your short-term goal?
I have a lot of songs that I have to I'm gonna produce and mix a lot of my own songs that I'm gonna keep releasing during the fall. So it's gonna be more singles to come actually, and I look forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be a mix between all these genres of acoustic and pop and shoegazer and rock pop. So it's gonna be super cool. I hope to release at least 3 more songs during the fall. So that's gonna come, and it's gonna be a little bit of I'm doing a little bit of collaborations as well with our artists. So it's gonna be great.
Links to Christian's music and everything else can be found in the show notes. Indie Echo is a product of High Five Music, a digital production studio that brings your bedroom demos to life. If you want your music produced, mixed, or remixed, visit the link on my Instagram at High Five Music, and you can follow the show at Indie Echo Podcast. Thank you for listening.